This is the course in cryptography for the Masters in Cybersecurity program at UC Berkeley. This course is going to cover the full scope of cryptography. We're going to start out by looking at asymmetric cryptography, looking at questions such as how various algorithms interact with each other. And in doing so, we're going to examine a central question. The NSA, we know as a result of the Snowden revelations, claims that it's able to read messages that have been encrypted with SSL, also known as TLS. How could they have possibly done that? We can't say for sure, but we have some pretty good clues on the process that we'll go through in the course of examining asymmetric cryptography. Then we'll move on to symmetric cryptography and look at the state of the art with regard to symmetric cryptosystems. Next, we'll go do a deep dive into cryptographic protocols and look at some of the issues of how cryptographic protocols affect trade-offs as we're performing cryptography. We'll then look a little bit at the network interactions with cryptography and review the basic structure of IP TCP, and then go deeply into some of the attacks that are possible and how cryptography has something to say about those natures of attacks. Next, we'll move up to the application layer and look at web security and some of the issues associated there. Finally, we'll end by doing a high-level overview of quantum computing and the implications of quantum computing on cryptography. My name is Doug Tiger. I'm a professor at UC Berkeley. I teach in the Electrical Engineering and Computer Science department with particular focus in computer science. My specialty is computer security. I've been interested in questions of computer security and cryptography since I was a little kid. One of my earliest memories is when I was 5 years old, programming my first computer program. Of course, I didn't have a personal computer to program it on, so I just wrote it on a piece of paper in the hope that someday someone would be able to input it into a computer. Well, eventually I found my way to real computers and just fell in love with their capability, but also the underlying theory behind them. I became fascinated by cryptography. I read a book by David Kahn as a child called The Code Breakers and was amazed at the incredible creativity and originality shown both by those people who built ciphers and those people who tackled attacks on ciphers. I went to college at UC Berkeley, where I studied mathematics and computer science, and I got my PhD at Harvard University, where I was fortunate to study under Professor Michael Rabin. And we'll talk about Michael Rabin's contributions to cryptography in the course of this lecture series. Then, after receiving my doctorate at Harvard University, I went on to Carnegie Mellon University for 12 years, where I became a tenured professor of computer science and had the chance to work on many fascinating problems. In 1998, I moved to University of California, Berkeley, where I became both a professor in electrical engineering and computer science and also a professor in the School of Information. It happens to be the two units that are sponsoring the Masters in Cybersecurity program. I've worked on a wide variety of problems related to computer security. I am regarded as one of the creators of the field of usable computer security with my paper, Why Johnny Can't Encrypt, which has won awards for being a foundational paper in that area. I also helped create the area of adversarial machine learning, where we look at machine learning problems under adversarial attack. I helped create the standard for the US Postal Service for their 2D encrypted barcodes that are used for postage. I helped design computer security systems for sensors. I've written a number of books, several of which have been translated into Japanese, and my students have taken up positions at universities all over the world. PhD students who I've advised have taken positions at schools as diverse as Berkeley, Carnegie Mellon University, Harvard University, the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology in Zurich, Dartmouth University, Indiana University, the University of California at San Diego, and many other places. I feel so fortunate to be able to share with you some of the excitement of this field, and I hope that you come out of this course with a much better appreciation and ability to use cryptography in your careers as professional cybersecurity experts. Now, this course is going to be challenging in a number of ways. We're going to do a deep dive into a number of areas, including some that aren't always on the ordinary curriculum. We're going to understand, for example, the foundational issues associated with elliptic curve cryptography. And we're going to deeply explore problems that show up with cryptographic protocols. I think you'll find this course interesting and challenging. That's what I'm aiming for, at least. Finally, a quick note. I want to let you know that the time that this course is being recorded, I'm suffering from a virus. You, of course, in the program are learning about computer viruses. I'm afraid I have a biological one. So I apologize in advance for any coughing, sniffling, or other cold noises that I make during the course of these lectures. I hope that this challenges the 2U post-production team to get them all, but I think you'll still catch a couple of them. It should be lots of fun. I look forward to hearing about your progress as you move through the program, interacting with you, and learning what you do with this material. Thanks for the privilege.